I give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Raka Kwadash, double honors unto our apostle elders which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, Wa Abba Babal. Alright, so this is Luke 10 verse 1. Yahweh Shai is sending out 70 disciples that he made apostles. It says in Luke 10 verse 1, after these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them two and two before his face into every city and place, whither he himself will come, to give them warning of him coming to their city. Verse 2, therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, meaning there's many Israelites, but the labors are few. There's only a few elect. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth labors into his harvest, which now we're at the end and more men have arrived. We've been summoned by the Holy Spirit in Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, in this last generation for the prophecy's sake. Go your ways, behold, I send you forth as lambs among wolves. So we're like worms. We're helpless before these wolves, all right, which are the other nations and even our own people that are against us. Because we tell you the truth, you see us as an enemy. It says in verse 4, carry neither purse nor scrip nor shoes, and salute no man by the way. And into whatsoever house ye enter, first say, peace be to this house. And if the Son of Peace be there, your peace shall rest upon it. If not, it shall turn to you again. And in the same house remain, eating and drinking such things as they give, for the labor is worthy of his hire, which the people, the Israelites, are to take care of the prophets. Go not from house to house. All right, you're supposed to stay in a house in the city and prophesy. And they're supposed to give, in a way, tithes to the Lord by taking care of his prophet, which it tells you in Matthew 25 about the reward of them that give food and drink to the prophet. They have the reward of a prophet. But them that reject the prophet, they will be rejected when Yahweh Shai returns. It says, and into whatsoever city ye enter, and they receive you, eat such things as are set before you, and heal the sick that are therein, and say unto them, the kingdom of our power, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, is come nigh unto you. See, because it's within the men. The kingdom of heaven is within the men, which we are able to share this to our women and children of the Israelite nation. All right? But the kingdom of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, is within men. That's why it says in Revelation 21 and verse 1, it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea, which America's future is nuclear destruction. They're going to lose World War III, and this country is going to be devoured by nuclear fire via nuclear missiles shot by its allies and enemies, NATO nations, UN nations, and BRIC nations. It says, and I, John, saw the holy city, which John was on the island of Patmos, a prisoner under the Romans for prophesying, and he had a vision of Yahweh Shai, which we have his vision, the book of Revelation. And he saw the holy city, the Israelites, New Jerusalem, which were in that spirit of prophecy that there's a New Jerusalem that here on earth, being us refreshened by the Holy Spirit, remembering ourselves, which will eventually lead to Yahweh Shai giving us new bodies and putting us back in that land, Isaiah 14:1. It says, coming down from Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai out of heaven, which we're going to be taken up to escape the judgment, and then we're going to be changed and given new bodies in the air. It says, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband, which were washed by this word, and in white garments, which is the righteousness of the saints, which it's not our own righteousness, it's the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. It says in verse 3, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is with men, within them. All right, within the mind and within the loin. All right. It says, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is within men, Israelite men. And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power. And we have this honor through Yahweh Shai, which we have a gift of grace. All right. So it's already within us. We don't have to look anywhere else. All right. Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai is dealing with us. All right. Let's get Matthew 12, verse 28. It says, so this is dealing with the unbelieving Israelites. All right. As it says here, the Pharisees rebuked, which were Israelites, and they were supposed to be masters of the law. It says in verse 22, then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed and said, is not this the son of David? Which is Yahweh Shai. Through his father Joseph, he was of the lineage of King David. But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow does not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils, so Satan. So they're saying this dude has the Satan on him, right? So it says, and Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And this is why the 2/3, they got to be destroyed, because they're not of Israel. Not all Israel is of Israel. Romans 9, verse 6. It says, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. This is why Esau's going to fall like lightning. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And if I be Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. Which we have this truth in this last generation, all right, which it's increasing in knowledge throughout the whole earth amongst the Israelites. And really, it's condemning to them 2/3 that are here in America, which are going to eat those nuclear missiles because of their unfaithfulness. They're the reincarnation of those unbelieving Israelites in the past. It says in verse 28, but if I cast out devils by the Spirit of Yahweh, which this is Yahweh Shai speaking, that's why it's red letter, then the kingdom of Yahweh is come unto you. See, that's what's happening right now. We see miracles happening. We're prophesying. We have the spirit of prophecy. So the kingdom of Yahweh is come unto you. We're casting out devils. I've seen healings myself. All right? And the Lord said, who has brought it down to you? It was Yahweh's Son, Yahweh Shai. Through his sacrifice, we have the Holy Spirit, the Comforter. Yahweh gave us power in his Son, Yahweh Shai, and we prophesy. We have the power to prophesy. Now, when the left hand increases in oppressing us, the right hand increases in power. All right? Which we have power. the power to prophesy. We have an unction from the Holy Spirit to know all things already. It's within us. All right? So if we're casting out devils in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the kingdom of heaven has come unto you in the tabernacle of Israelite men. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai dwells. All right? And a lot of men are looking elsewhere for power, hoping elsewhere, when it's right here within us. We're the Israelites. We're the hopeful elect. It says, know ye not that Yahushai dwelleth in you, unless ye be a reprobate. But I want you to know that we are not reprobates, though they look at us as reprobates, for we know what we worship. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, Wa Abba Babal.